Cbc Evening News.
Good evening, I am Ryan Broom with the Monday, October 9th edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, between 1,000 and 1,500 people could find jobs once the UWI Jukes Agribusiness Development Park is completed in another 2 years. That's according to Principal and Pro-Vice Chancellor of the Cayfield campus, Professor Udine Barreto. She says the UWI has secured the necessary town planning permission and the project should get started by the second quarter of next year. Lisa Broom tells us more.
It started out as a local family's wish to help ensure that Barbados can jumpstart its food production and significantly reduce its food import bill. And so back in 2012, Charles and Vanessa Edgell handed over close to 30 acres of land at Jukes and St. Thomas to the University of the West Indies Cayfield campus. It has since blossomed into what will become an environmentally friendly, state-of-the-art science and agricultural park. Principal and Pro-Vice Chancellor Professor Udine Barreto unveiled the master plan for the site during a press conference.
When we get beyond the construction phase, we can look at employment from 1,000 to 1,500 persons, and we see that as conservative. But again, remember, this is a massive project, and there are many phases that have to be rolled out. When this is completed, we see it as a site where the taxis will bring tourists. They can spend a day, they can observe things. There will be a spillover into the rural community to that community, some development. So we do see great employment opportunities.
The first phase is expected to take 2 years and will concentrate on construction of the major facilities, according to Director Professor Leonard Orgaro.
The center would also become one of the homes for the agro-processing industry in Barbados. There'd be meat curing facilities and particularly catering for the black belly sheep. There'd be a chocolate manufacturing and training facility. There'd be a cotton processing facility, so that means that the existing cotton company, Exclusive Cottons of the Caribbean Inc., will move on to the site.
A major feature of the park will be the accreditation or vocational training that will be associated with each venture undertaken there. But more importantly, it will be a hub for agribusiness and training, as well as activity for the Caribbean.
One of the things we've done is to select enterprises that are iconic for the Caribbean and Barbados. So we think, for example, that they're potential world beaters, and we've selected them to bring them there to provide all of the assets required for them to fulfill this particular potential. And examples, the principal made reference to the Barbados Black Belly Sheep project and so forth.
There are also expected to be links to agro-tourism and a significant portion of land earmarked for farming. Meantime, Professor Barreto says the UE has also secured the $34 million it will contribute to the project through the governments of Barbados and China, and is ready to hand over the plan to the contractors. And she's encouraging those responsible for the basic infrastructure like roads, utilities and information technology providers to get started soon. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
Thanks, Lisa. Well, 2 major cruise vessels are expected to resume service to Barbados in the next few weeks. Word of this from Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Port Inc., David Jean-Marie. The Carnival and Royal Caribbean brands were forced to cancel several cruises following the devastation caused by Hurricanes Irma and Maria last month.
We did see the diversion of a few cruise ships. For example, the one that comes to Barbados on Wednesdays. We lost that business for a couple of days because obviously the one port or one country does not make an itinerary. You need our sister ports around to be in good shape. But we believe that has been started up now, and we would expect to see the Adventure of the Seas and perhaps the Carnival vessel returning in a couple of weeks to Barbados.
And Mr. Jean-Marie was speaking on the sidelines of the Caribbean Shipping Association's annual general meeting. According to Tourism Minister Richard Seeley, the Caribbean continues to be the #1 cruise destination in the world despite an overactive hurricane season. He adds that Caribbean tourism officials are currently meeting in Grenada to discuss the impact of the recent hurricanes on the region.
And even as we are meeting, as you are meeting here, the State of the Tourism Industry meeting in Grenada, the Caribbean Tourism Organization members are discussing how they have been able to interact with the lines to see that itineraries have been adjusted, to see that the region has not, as a whole, been hurt too much. Yes, some ports had to be closed temporarily, but they are making the adjustments.
Meanwhile, productivity at the Barbados port has increased following a decision to provide certification for port workers. That's according to Chief Executive Officer David Jean-Marie, who wants more ports around the region to adopt the practice.
Through the National Vocation Qualification, Caribbean Vocational Qualification, the TVET Council of Barbados, and CMU, which was provided training up to level 3 and will commence level 4 certification later this year. This has led to increased productivity in the workplace and a more realistic acknowledgement of safety practices in port operations. We are also seeing a renewed spirit of commitment from our employees as they demonstrate a feeling of empowerment and recognition through the certification program. I'm hoping that this initiative will be embraced by more of our members across the region.
In other news, a $100 million program, which is set to revolutionize the local education system, is underway. The School Teacher Effectiveness Plans and Project Schools, also known as STEPS, was officially launched this morning at the Erdeston Teachers Training College. While it is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Education and the University of New Brunswick, the program is being funded by the Caribbean Development Bank and the government. Education Minister Ronald Jones says it will continue to ensure a solid education is provided for all students. Presently, 8 primary schools are involved in a pilot for the program, but more schools are expected to come on board in the future.
Of the implementation of the STEPS initiative today is indicative of the primary goal of Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation. We're going to call it METI as I go through rather than the long name. To deliver high quality education for all students as we strive to align national development with the global sustainable development agenda. Quality education for all, inclusive education, all of that part and parcel of the agenda for change in our school environment.
Amid calls for a snap general election, Speaker of the House, Michael Carrington, instead prefers government to serve its full term. He wants the ruling Democratic Labour Party to get ready, as he doesn't want the party to be caught napping when the date is announced. Addressing a Christchurch South Branch meeting, Mr. Carrington says the DLP can justify the policy decisions they've been implementing. He wants the party to be confident in taking its message to the electorate.
As a parliamentarian, my principal concern is the welfare of the country Barbados, is the welfare of the people of Barbados. And I honestly believe that once we put that up front, we will be all right. So for those who are hoping to accede to government almost by default, we have news for you. The Democratic Labour Party has the interests of this country at heart, as we always have, and we are seeking to do what is best and what is in the best interest of the people of Barbados.
And Mr. Carrington also wants Barbados to move past political gossip. He says the same way government is expected to be open and honest with the people, the opposition Barbados Labour Party should be as well.
The same way it applies to the government, it has to apply to the opposition. The same way it applies to he, it has to apply to she. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying more. I'm saying though, I'm also saying that we have to get behind the various issues. We have to get behind the issues of crime and violence. We have to get behind the issues of the difficulties with the economy. We have to get behind the issues of the foreign reserves and so on, and recognize that in the final analysis, what is at stake is a beautiful place called Barbados.
In other news, Barbados stands out above its regional neighbors in the English-speaking Caribbean with respect to network readiness and e-government. Consultant at LPA Corporate Solutions, Elena Henkel da Costa, says the island is number one. The revelation came during the launch of the new correspondence management system of the Personnel Administration Division.
We have the infrastructure, we have the human skills, we have the digital content, and we are emerging on that platform of submitting a number of e-services. So yes, the income tax, the value-added tax, the Honorable Prime Minister spoke about the WAN, and in terms of having a digital strategy moving forward.
Mrs. Henkel da Costa, however, says Barbados must improve on the delivery of e-services.
If we look at some of the countries across the globe and some of the smaller countries, if we look at Estonia, 1.3 million. If we look at Malta, 400,000. They are experts in the delivery of e-services. And when I say e-services, what do we mean? E-tax, e-banking, e-business, meaning that you can go one place and do all your business transactions without having to go to 4 or 5 different places. E-police, e-judiciary. You want to submit any report to the police, law courts, anything, e-judiciary, e-police, e-schools, e-health, e-health records, e-prescriptions, e-land registry, e-ID cards.
We'll take a pause here, but we'll be back with more news.
Upgrade to Digicell's Quick Pick Bundles. Save big on data. Get data and get unlimited WhatsApp messaging and Digicel Talk. Pick a 1-day bundle, a 7-day bundle, or for the best value, a 30-day bundle. Save money every single day. Pick the bundle that's right for you. Go to My Digicel app or dial *246 to buy a Quick Pick bundle today. Digicel.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Do you want audience numbers? Over 140,000 people are watching Morning Barbados and the evening news. 6 out of 10 top radio personalities are found right here at the CBC. CBC delivers the audience you need.
Efforts are on to increase vegetable production in Barbados. Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, says all crops are being targeted.
We are doing a series of seminars which have been financed by the CTA, which is the Corporation for Technical Agriculture out of Europe. And what we have been trying to do is address issues of efficiencies on farms. We have been focusing on certain commodities, one of them being onions, which of course we continue to focus on. But the objective that we are trying to do is to actually increase production of certain commodities on the farms. What we are also trying to do at the same time is to increase the linkages that we have with certain retailers who have been willing to cooperate with us over the years.
And Mr. Paul is also anticipating a further expansion of the local pork industry despite a decline in numbers last year.
We have seen early this year a tendency where the numbers being slaughtered were lower than last year. What we are seeing now as we go towards the end of the year, we are seeing some improvement. But what we're hoping to do is that based on what happened earlier this year, we are hoping that people are stocking up in their pens, and this will actually build a better production base for people to move forward in the future years in the pork industry.
In other news, more relief is heading out to hurricane-ravaged Dominica today. This time it's a shipment of essential goods, water, non-perishable food items, medical supplies and tarpaulins, collected by the Lions Club and donated by club members and various organizations and individuals. Zone chairperson of the Lions Club of Barbados, Alison Bishop, says the effort is part of a region-wide initiative by the Lions Club to help Dominicans. She says the response to their collection efforts so far has been positive.
Lions have been coming and going and dropping things off, so it's looking really good, and we know that more donations are coming. Some of our other clubs, Lions Club Barbados East, they have quite a number of donations that they got. Well, they actually had a donation campaign at the Emerald City supermarket in 6 Roads, and they got quite a good response.
And this shipment is being sent with the assistance of the Barbados Defence Force, but Ms. Bishop notes that the relief effort will need to continue.
This obviously will have to be a continuous effort because we don't know how long it will take them to rebuild. So we are looking to do at least a donation every other month. This is an ongoing process, and we vow to do our best to help as much as we can.
In other news now, the Spiritual Baptist Church wants Barbadians to do away with selfishness, telling the country that everything it has, God giveth. Members gave thanks to God, offering food and fruit, and asking for more blessings during its annual feast at the Ealing Grove Church in Christchurch. The feast ended a week of activities commemorating the 60th anniversary of the church. It was back in 1957 that the late patriarch, Archbishop Dr. Granville Williams, set up the church. Bishop Eustace Prescott says the church follows the scriptures and the messages are clear.
He says, if I was hungry, I would not ask you. Everything he says. So this is a blessing to us and a privilege that we have. We practice this in the Sons of God Apostolic Spiritual Baptist Church because the apostles practice it. The prophets, the patriarchs. It is written in the scriptures.
Meanwhile, chairperson of the anniversary committee, Captain Kimar Harris, says the church, after the passing of the late patriarch Granville Williams and Malcolm Babb, is being led by 4 bishops consecrated 2 weeks ago. In other news now, the Nation Company Limited and its chief executive officer, Anthony Shaw, are being sued by 3 former journalists at the company. The lawsuit relates to the circumstances surrounding the termination of former news editor Geraldine Edward and former operations editor Tony Yard. The lawsuit was filed in the High Court last Monday. The 2 journalists, who had a combined 33 years with the company, are being joined in the suit by former reporter Tamisha Sobers, who resigned from the company to pursue a law degree. The suit alleges defamation, and they are all being represented by attorney at law Philip Pilgrim. In other news, a team of young Barbadians with hopes of securing Barbados' first medal at the World Skills International Competition left the island this evening. The contingency includes competitors Rashida Griffith, Tanisha Hall, and Takia Jordan, who will be competing in the areas of garment making, culinary arts, and hairdressing. They will be accompanied by officials from the TVET Council. The event will be held in Abu Dhabi from October 15th to 18th. We will have the full story in tomorrow's newscast. Some crime news now. Police are searching for 2 men who reportedly robbed a schoolboy at gunpoint on Friday. Lawmen say the men attacked the 15-year-old around 2:45 p.m. at the junction of Mount Rose and Silver Hill Christchurch. The first of the assailants is about 6 feet tall, slim and dark-skinned. He has an unkempt afro hairstyle, large eyes, and a tattoo of a teardrop at the side of one eye. The second assailant is 5 feet 9 inches tall. He's also slim and dark, but has a low haircut. His eyes, nose, and mouth are all described as small, and he has a tattoo on his right arm. Police want anyone who can help to identify the assailant or who has any information on the crime to contact the Oistins Police Station at telephone number 418-2612, the emergency number 211, Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIPS, or that's 8477, or the nearest police station. They're also given the assurance that all information received will be strictly confidential. Well, we take another break, but still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region.
This year, Quartz is saying thank you to all of our shoppers. We have enjoyed serving you through the years, and we take this time to thank you for choosing us. As always at Quartz, we have you in mind with great offers, gifts, and prizes in store for you this season. For your chance to enter the Quartz Thank You Sweepstakes, just spend $799 and over.
As we look to the future, we promise to give you exceptional service and great products at the best prices.
Quartz, bringing value home.
Diamond Dazzler, it's time to play. Diamond Dazzler, the new instant $250,000 scratch game from the Barbados Lottery. Available at select lottery outlets.
Honey, this kitchen needs painting.
Why not the whole house?
We hit in the jackpot at Berger Paints.
Enter to win free paint in one of 7 prizes in the Anson McCall Lucky 7 jackpot worth $140,000. Just spend $100 at Brightons Stokes, Brightons Express and Stationery, Brightons Insurance Standard, MQI, Berger Paints, or Consolidated Finance. Enter your code online at www.ansonlucky7jackpot.com for your chance to win. See website for full details.
Help support the restoration efforts for the hundreds of thousands affected by catastrophic hurricanes. Donate to the Red Cross Hurricane Relief account at any branch of the following: CIBC First Caribbean, account number 10011633436. First Citizens, 500-900-00588. RBC Royal Bank, 210-05073. And Republic Bank, 01804-153-1001. Monies raised will be sent to the International Red Cross for its restoration work for affected persons. Appeal closes 30th November 2017. Persons wishing to post checks should make these out to Red Cross Hurricane Relief Appeal account and post to Barbados Red Cross Society, P.O. Box 300 Bridgetown, or hand delivered to the Red Cross Warrens headquarters. The Barbados Red Cross and commercial banks, on behalf of the victims of catastrophic hurricanes, thank all persons and businesses for their contributions.
Dominica's devastation by Hurricane Maria has provided the country with an opportunity to be an example to the world on how a nation can rebound from disaster in a way that is resilient to climate change. That assertion from Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt.
We did not choose this opportunity. We did not wish it. Having had it thrust upon us, we have chosen actively and decisively to be that example to the world. We recognize that we cannot do that quicker, better, and more impactfully in combination with our United Nations. I ask you to join us on our journey to become the world's first climate-resistant nation in the climate change era.
Mr. Skerritt was speaking at a media conference yesterday as part of United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres' visit to Dominica. In his address, Mr. Guterres described the damage done to the island as a dramatic level of systematic devastation.
I have never seen anywhere else in the world a forest completely decimated without one single leaf in any tree. Even if I come from Barbuda, and in Barbuda I could see also most of the houses destroyed. Barbuda is a small island linked to Antigua. In Antigua can support Barbuda, but in your country is the whole country that has been decimated, and it's in every community I see most of the buildings destroyed or heavily damaged.
An expectation of debt relief soon by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It says this would reduce the debt to the gross domestic product to 10 percentage points, a position that was held 5 years ago. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, who is also Minister of Finance, told lawmakers that as at December 31st last year, the debt-to-GDP ratio was 81%, with 65 percentage points being debt incurred by the central government and 11 percentage points by state-owned entities. Dr. Gonzalez says government has secured debt relief under the Commonwealth Debt Initiative from the British Government Department for International Development in relation to a debt left by the previous administration. And France has signaled its intention to assist the St. Kitts Nevis further in the exploration of geothermal energy. This is according to Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris. Prime Minister Harris and Public Infrastructure Minister Ian Patches-Liberd over the weekend held talks with France's ambassador to St. Kitts and Nevis, Philippe Ardenaz, and French Foreign Trade Advisor Jacques Chirac. Well, sports news is next with Anne-Marie Burt, but first a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.